Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me today is 𝗤𝐵 𝗫𝗍 as we look at some of the new geopolitical developments. Hottest. Middle East is getting somewhere in that scale. We'll know more about it from 𝗤𝐵 𝗫𝗍. A request to all of you to please like this video. 𝗤𝐵 ji, Namaskar, Ram Ram, Radhe Radhe. How are you?
Jai Sri Ram, Radhe Radhe sir, all good and fine by the grip of Lord Mahakal, your Ashirwad. Namaskaram to you and all the viewers wherever they are in the world.
Namaskaram to all our viewers. 𝗤𝐵 ji, there was a drone that actually made it to Benjamin Netanyahu's house, and I guess nobody was home. That was to be expected. How did this happen? Did they let it go because they knew there was nothing in it? Or usually Israel is pretty good at catching some things like this, isn't it?
Correct. Sir, in the name of Bhagwan Sree Ganesha, let's do the Sree Ganesha of today's vlog. Well, this is an interesting development and it's a scary development, and it is a development which is surprising. I don't know which side of the divide should I put my weight on, which is quite a bit looking at my physical structure. Kidding. No, the thing here is that, look, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu's house is this 𝗤𝘃𝘃 area. This is near the coast. It's the coastal area of Israel. And this is known for its mansions. There are a lot of mansions there. There are some Roman ruins there. And there's a lot of history to this place. Now, what happens is, there is one pattern which I want to highlight here. Now, again, 3 drones enter Israeli skies. It's like the last time. 3 drones again entered Israeli skies. It's the same kind of attack which happened on the army training camp, wherein few soldiers lost their life and around 59 were injured. Same pattern. 3 drones enter the Israel's airspace. Again here 3 drones enter the Israeli airspace. 2 of them are detected and get shot. 2 of them again here are detected and get shot. And the third one hits without a bang. Now exactly in the military camp, the third one hit the military camp without a whisper of it. Why you had casualties in the military camp? Why a lot of people unfortunately lost their lives? Because the sirens did not go up. And Sree sir, there is a visible pattern here. Again, the sirens did not go up. Now, looking at the fortification of this place, this should be equivalent to or good as a military training base which was attacked by Hezbollah. Again, I see a worrying pattern. Somehow they are able to send these 3 drones. 2 of them get detected. They get shot. There's one third drone which somehow misses the radars and gets and hits the target. There in military camp, these guys unfortunately had no time. If the sirens would have gone on, they would have entered those bunkers or those bomb shelters or whatever. It was just a normal day. So exactly here, and the sirens did not go up. Now, if you look at the account, what the residents say, they say we did not hear any siren. We just heard, some whimper. Then there was a big blast. So it was exactly, I believe it was 𝗲𝙗𝙁 1 or 𝗲𝙗𝙁 2. What looks to me, I don't know what the features I am studying, but I mean the features of the drone I'm trying to study. This is the drone. I think this is the same drone which hit the army camp. And I don't understand what is this pattern of sending 3 drones in which one goes undetected. There's something wrong somewhere. Now the impact was quite big. Now, as per IDF, Mr. Netanyahu and his wife were not in the mansion, which is quite understood. They would not be there. But was there a damage to the mansion? Is the mansion destroyed or damaged? We have no answers. IDF is tight-lipped on that, and there is no social media account to say for that. Even Hezbollah has not claimed anything. Now, these drones were sent by Hezbollah. Besides that, there were around 20 odd projectiles which came in through last night. And if I do a sum of all them, maybe 36 projectiles from all over the place, hit Israel in last 24 hours. But this is very specific. This and army camp attack is very similar. And how did this miss the defenses? How did it hit? And why did the sirens did not go off? And when it hit the ground, did it hit the lawn? Did it hit the villa? Or did it hit a vacant area? But whatever it was, it came very near to Mr. Netanyahu's house. If it has hit the house, it is something to be worried about. Sirens did not go up. It is something to be worried about. And even if it hit somewhere nearby, I think they have reached very near to the house. Now, this is believed to be the retaliation of what was done to Yahya Sinwar. There's a lot of revelations I'm going to make about Yahya Sinwar as well. So it is seen as a retaliation. But my problem is not retaliation. My problem is how did it miss the defense systems, and why the sirens did not go? Even if you have the sirens going up, you have a few minutes. You can go to the shelter, hide in the basement. You don't know what to do. But if the sirens don't go up, if there's a direct hit, there can be a catastrophe. Give me a minute, sir. I'll hand over to you. Then what happened? Then there was a statement of Benjamin Netanyahu. I don't know where he was. He was seen wearing a black polo t-shirt, wearing his jeans, wearing his sunglasses. He was taking a stroll, and he said, he gave an interview in Hebrew, then he gave an interview in English where he said that Israel will not be deterred. Israel will not be, nothing is going to stop. Israel is going to win this war. So that was a proof of the pudding that Mr. Netanyahu is live and kicking and is in that location, some other location, and was having a pleasant walk in the sun. He's not giving the statement from a bunker like Khamenei hiding in a rat hole. He gave the statement and said nothing can deter Israel's determination. But there is a cause of worry which I see in this attack. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, a couple of things. One is that now the American built THAAD missiles have been deployed. Now, beauty of these THAAD missiles, I'm told, is that they rely on velocity. There is no the missiles that they fire. They don't have any warhead, nothing, no ammunition. It's just the missile's velocity that takes out the other side in mid-air. Now, they can go up to 3,000 kilometers, I'm told. So they can actually catch. This is a deterrent, the way I see it, that is supposing somebody puts a small mini nuclear payload in one of these missiles. Like you said, 3 are being launched, 2 are being caught, the other one is able to make it. Supposing they want to do something like that, now the THAAD missile can actually take it out in Iranian space itself. Correct. Because of the speed with which it can respond. So then what happens is, before it even leaves your own shores, it's going to rain on you. So that deterrent has been now put in place. The second thing is, yes, the missile did land near Netanyahu's house. But even if you look at the Mossad thing, right, one missile landed about a square kilometer, 1 kilometer away from the Mossad headquarters. Now, I'm also told that Israel will not try to take down if it knows that the missile is going to miss its target, because they are saving it. See, each of these missiles is like $500,000, $600,000. But the one that takes it down, the Iron Dome, that one is much more expensive, $200,000 per shot. So they know if it is going to miss the target, they just let it land.
Correct. You're right, sir. There are 2 parts to the story here. The first part is that, THAAD, if you look at the system, I think the projectile which fires back goes at Mach 7 or Mach 8. I'm not sure on that. It is the mere velocity which goes and hits the target and destroys the target in the air. THAAD has one
second. Last time we got all tangled up. Many people correcting us. 334 or 333, something like that, meters per second is the speed of sound.
Of light. Meters per second.
Meters per second. Okay. Meters. Let's not get our knickers twisted into this on this number. All it is that defines you some sort of a Mach number. One Mach. One.
Yeah. So what does it do is when it intercepts, it destroys. It has one unique capability, which is better than even the Patriot missile shield. Now, if you look at the traditional missile shields, they are classified into small range, medium range, and long range interception, and usually everybody has features around that. S-400 is also has quite a variety here, but the difference between THAAD is that it can stop a Katyusha rocket, and it can stop a ICBM. It can also stop a Kinjal. If it was given notified, it can also stop a Kinjal, which is a supersonic missile. So that is the uniqueness of the THAAD, and the THAAD doesn't go near and detonate what the other missiles do. There's something called as a proximity fuse. When they go near the proximity fuse switch, they detonate and they both go. With the mere velocity they use it. The advantage of the velocity is that the signature of the THAAD, with the projectile which it sends, is very low. It doesn't have any heat signatures. It doesn't have any kind of, the radar signature of that is very low. That gives us a lot of speed. So the speed is what is killing it. Now, answering your second point, sir, what is worrying is, when I was going through the intercepts, you're right. I mean, I agree that if a target is not bound to hit anywhere, they will just let it go and hit the open ground. That's what they did last time, because the target was 1.5 kilometers away in an open ground from Mossad headquarters. But the problem here is the sirens did not go out. Last time there were sirens. What I'm worried is not, about how Israelis are going to handle it. What is being talked about, why the sirens did not go out. Usually the sirens should have gone out. So what is wrong? What needs to be fixed is something, we have to kind of we have to figure that out and see what the hell is happening here, because the sirens should have gone out. Now with this happening, there was a very clear-cut statement from Israel, and it all starts from their media and their people talking about it. They say, look, you have tried to attack the Prime Minister of Israel and take him out. Now what is his name, Khamenei, or Ayatollah, whatever his name is, becomes a legitimate target. Today, for the first time in the war of Israel versus Iran, Khamenei has become a legitimate target, because what Israel will be doing will not be seen as escalation, will not be seen as taking the war to the next step. No, it will be a retaliation to what you have tried to do today. You failed, and we will kind of set the target right. So we are going to retaliate. Now Khamenei is a legitimate target. It is done and dusted now. So if Khamenei goes out, it is not an escalation in the war, it's just mere retaliation. This is the first major step which has happened in the war. In the meanwhile, we have seen that Abbas is the foreign minister of Iran, has been threatening everybody. Do not let Israel use its airspace for attack on Iran. Do not let. He's begging, he's pleading, and he's threatening. He's doing all the three together. He has invented a cocktail of all the three. He's begging, threatening, and also pleading. That is what Abbas is doing, and he has done a televised interview today wherein he's kind of threatening all the Arab nations not to do it. That's one important. I had something important, viewers, to share you about Yahya Sinwar. Then we have more topics to talk about. Now, something very interesting has come out after Yahya Sinwar's autopsy. Now, we knew Yahya Sinwar was in a building. We knew Yahya Sinwar always wore a bulletproof vest 24/7. He always carried a Glock pistol with him, right, which was always locked and without a lock. And third thing we know, that is, he always was very secretive about his lookouts and his whereabouts. And an explosion happens, rumble, the head, roof and all collapses. He falls. We have seen the pictures. There was a head, there was a hole here on the temple of the head. Now, it looked to us that something might have fallen, and that is how the hole comes from. Now, when the postmortem or the postmortem of the body was done, one thing which has come out, this is not a hole which was due to a falling brick or a mortar or a piece of iron or whatever. It is a bullet hole here. It's a bullet here. First point. Second thing, one of the fingers is missing. Well, that we have answered because the finger was sent for DNA testing. Now, that's how we know the finger is missing. So, finger part of it is sorted out. We know. Now, the question is bullet hole. How did the bullet hole happen? What exactly happened? Now, IDF, if you know, has been a bit reluctant when it comes to Sinwar's death. They first said, okay, let's look into it. Then they had the DNA match. When the DNA was made, they said, yeah, Sinwar is dead. Benjamin Netanyahu just told that we have killed the mastermind of the attack, which happened on the 7th October 2023. But let me remind Mr. Netanyahu, with all the due respect, sir, the mastermind is in Iran, not this man. He's only the person who carried out in the ground. Yes, he's the mastermind. He planned it. And let's not forget that he sent the plan to Khamenei's approval. Khamenei sent him $10 million. He asked for $500 million. And Khamenei told him every month you will get $20 million each, and you carry on with the plan. So the mastermind and the financer is still in Iran, and he is live and kicking. Let's not forget that, Mr. Netanyahu. And by the time he is not settled, he will create more Sinwars. He will create more, what was his name? I tend to forget their names because, they're dead. I don't have to remember that name. Now they try to get more of, kya naam tha uska?
Yeah,
the guy. No, sir, the guy killed in Iran. Is Hamas ka head.
Oh, okay. Hamas ka, I know you're talking
about. Yeah. Sir. When they become part of the dust, it is so difficult for us to remember their names because they're irrelevant now. Why should we tax our why should we tax our minds to remember the names of the people who are already dead? They're dead, gone, dusted. Let's keep the memory fresh for some, new names to come in. But let me remind you, Mr. Netanyahu, sir, with great respects, there is one rat who's still hiding in Egypt. Name is 𝗤𝙑 𝗲𝘅. Sachin bhai, if you can pull the photo of 𝗤𝙑 𝗲𝘅, this is the same man, which is of interest to India as well. He's the same man who was used by a political party of India to give lectures and sermons over a video conference. And this is the same man, Mr. Netanyahu, of which you lost two of your most talented Mossad agents in Jordan, and some of them were put to public assassination by the father of King Abdullah under the public pressure. So Mossad has lost a good number of men trying to hunt this man, 𝗤𝙑 𝗲𝘅, and trying to be nice to him. Now this rat is somewhere in Egypt and becomes a legitimate target of Mossad. This man should be eliminated at the soonest because he has a lot of blood on his hand. He's worth a few $1 billion. And at least 10 or 15 Mossad agents have lost their life for the mother Israel trying to eliminate this man. Now he should not go out of the radar. I'm just putting him back on the radar so that he knows he's the next man. So after 𝗤𝙑 𝗲𝘅, the legitimate person is Khamenei. Now I was coming to Yahya. Now, how did this all happen? Now, Israel's IDF's version is then there was a tank which fired a shell, it happened, and he was killed. Now, something interesting came up. Something interesting, friends and my brothers and sisters, wherever you are in the world, I try to explain you in the most simplified language. We know we have talked about the AI tools which Israel uses. We have talked about the 3 stage of the tool. We have talked about 82,000 brigade. You all know about it. I'm going to talk to you about something new and sensational. You know what is the new and sensational on the town? The new and sensational thing Israelis have developed or seem to have developed, which IDF, of course, will not accept, is AI-based booby-trapped robots. Now you will say, what the hell is that? So what are you talking about, man? AI, artificial intelligence. I have seen Israeli robotics top of the world. Nothing matches them. Elon Musk, you have to catch up a lot. And I have seen their militarized robots. They can fire, they do this Israeli martial art, they do everything. Now it is believed that the same set of AI is put in the robots. And these robots have, vision, they have everything. They are human formed robots. They can fire a bullet. They can do a lot of things what a human can do. And they're booby trapped. What does that mean? Now, when IDF has to enter those LAs, those small lanes, those basements, those tunnels and all, they're very dangerous. The casualties can be very high because all those are booby-trapped areas. So what is Israel doing? Israel is using these booby-trapped robots. What can they do? So they have an AI wherein you feed all the targets in the area on them. Exactly the same tool which feeds the targets into a fighter aircraft. Same set of tools. Again, priority A, B, C, D. Now all of these robots had a target. The number one target in any of this robot was Sinwar. Now, again, now they will put 𝗤𝙑 𝗲𝘅. They might have missed him. So, guys, 𝗤𝙑 𝗲𝘅, he's in Egypt. You know what to do next. So, now, here, you have this person as a target. Now, what is believed is that Israel is using these AI robots in Gaza, in West Bank, in other areas, because where IDF will have very high casualty rate, you send these robots. What happens? 3 things happen. First thing is because the AI is here and is connected to a computer somewhere, the AI fits the targets, gives the priority. This robot can identify the target, can take the shot. He doesn't need any approval. He will not ask anybody if he gets a target in the list. Bingo. And what Sheldon Cooper says, 𝗏𝗏𝗏. So I'm stealing his word. So now that is the first thing. Second thing is when these robots enter, they have cameras here. So you can see those locations and you can also give them some instructions to do. But the beautiful part, the AI base, if they see 𝗤𝙑 𝗲𝘅 or if they see Sinwar, they will just detonate. And what is the third and the most dangerous part of them? They are booby trapped. Means it's a fedayeen robot. What does a fedayeen robot mean? When the day, minute, or the second robot determines there is no way out of here, or they are very high profile targets here, and I cannot take them, or they are running, or they whatever, or it's a big ammunition dump, it can self-detonate. Wow, bazinga. So what does it mean? Everything around it is dead. So unfortunately, there can be some civilians as also, but that is the casualty of the war. We can't help it. So now with this lethal machine, so you have AI which will put the targets in your mind. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9, 10. Okay, you fire at them, you do anything, nothing will happen to them. They can fire a shot. They find a target, they don't talk to you, they just eliminate the target. And fourth, when they know nothing is going to work, doom. So you have a mechanized AI fedayeen. So Nasrallah, what did you do before going to your grave? You taught Israel your war techniques. And what did they do? They used the technology into it, and they made it something which even your grandmother would have not come in her dreams. They made a fedayeen. Your fedayeen is of sweat and blood, and these are robots. AI, remote controlled, computer, cannot be killed, and worst case they detonate themselves on their own and bring everything down. This is the new thing. Now, as per Vienna conventions, as per some international so-called guidelines of the war, there are a lot of various such things. They say, oh, you can't have robots in the war, but who gives a shit? You're fighting jihadis. You're fighting these terrorists. You're fighting the people who fire a bullet from hospital, who hide behind women and children, who do all kinds of tactics. This is Israel's new lethal war machine. If it is true, what my sources are telling, and there's a talk in the media on it already. And let me tell you one thing. That is why I have been always maintaining one point. That is why I've been saying the wars in this era will be only won by the people who dominate technology. And there's a belief in the West, as long as West dominates the technology, you can win every war. If you are not able to dominate the technology, you will not be able to win the war. And that is what I am telling you. IP is very important. Mastering of technology is very important. Having the latest technology is very important. These wars will not be only won by valor and bravery. They have to be won by technology. Technological dominance is very important. And there is a lesson for Mother India. Today, Russia has no dearth of weapons. No dearth of weapons. There are all the weapons in the world. But what Russia is lacking? Manpower. Why South Koreans is believed to have sent 1,500 of their special forces operatives to fight for Russia? No, the South Korea said
they are North Koreans. And the interesting thing is, many of them are running away from the battlefield.
and they will be. And now it is believed that as per South Koreans, 13,000 of them are there. The point I'm trying to make here, unless and until we have this technological dominance, unless and we have the very big army, and I have been reiterating on the Endgame China series, China is trying to build 1 crore reserves, 1 crore, 10 million reserves. I don't know where it's going to reach, but it is an English broadcast. I hope it will reach every nook and corner of the world and wherever it matters. So there is an uphill task. Remember what happened to Russia. Russia has still no dearth of weapons, and they are most lethal weapons, but the manpower. Here, what Israel has done, this is the most beautiful use of robotics. And a robot trying to serve you a coffee, that looks like a good gizmo, but there's a good of robotics. So this is how these Israeli robots are going to do. Sachin bhai, there are some pictures of Israeli robots. I don't have them handy. I would have otherwise sent them.
This is one.
This is a dog. But there are of these they are humanized robots, and they can do everything. Now they are beating the shit out of Hezbollah and Hamas and Islamic Jihad and Islamic resistance and Islamic that in a way which is unproportionately seen. And the best part I like is they detonate themselves. When they faint, they cannot come back, or there's a very high value target. Now, the point I'm trying to raise on PGurus exclusively is, was Hania killed by a soldier or by a robot? Was the AI robot? Because this black hole, I don't understand. Who put the bullet in his head? And when you look at the pistol, the Glock is still here. He could not pull out his pistol. Now, if there was a tank, there was a drone that fired, okay, then I understand. But who killed Ismail Hania? Was it the super robot? Was it the super Israeli technology? Was it the AI who killed it? If this is true, there's a new dimension to the war, and I would request all.
Do you mean Ismail Hania or Sinwar?
Sorry, Sinwar. My slip of tongue. I'm excited by the concept today. I don't know. I'm really excited by the concept. Now, who killed Sinwar? Was it the robot? Was it the human? Was it the AI? Was it the Intel? Or was it a Intel converted into an AI, converted into a robot, converted into command and control and a gun and a self-detonation movie trap? This is the latest thing which Israelis are telling us. I think we should really put some 50, 40, 50, 60 billion dollars on technology. Stop wasting money in keeping a lot of our neighbors happy. Anyway, by the way, sir, Bangladesh banks have gone bust. Islamic Bank of Bangladesh have gone. They will soon, Yunus will be soon coming to us. Bhai sahab, paisa do. What these people have learned a tactic, they go to China, get screwed. They take debts. Then when the China starts squeezing them for money, they come to India and they think we are very nice, we are Hindus, they can siphon money out of us and take it. Let's save the money. Let's use the money for technology. Let's use this money. Imagine these robots, if they are real good, how much damage we can do to Pakistan, how much damage we can do to those areas where we lose a lot of special forces operatives because of very tough terrain. These robots can be a hell of a thing, right? So who killed Sinwar? I don't know. Is it
So a clarification? I have seen this on social media. A picture of a guy. That kid has been training for only 6 months. He's supposed to have taken out Yahya Sinwar. That's what they say. Also, the drone was used primarily to kind of keep track on how the whole operation was going on. Video surveillance. And you can also see this guy's hand is gone. Poor guy, right hand is gone. Left hand, like he takes a stick and he tries to throw it at the drone. And this was moments before he was taken out.
Sir, who put the bullet in the head?
That
idea. Not who put the bullet. Now the postmortem report says there's a bullet in the head. Missing finger understood, cut for the DNA. That's okay. But who put the bullet on the head? That is $1 million question. I think it is the new Israeli brand. Arey Ranga sir, no, this is disqualified. No, Ranga sir, no, this is disqualified. And especially
because all the robots have female names, sir. Gee, all the robots have female names.
Correct. So disqualified. Israelis by default have a big commando unit of elite females, and they use them to eliminate these jihadis. And the last bullet is always put by a female, by the way. And now all these robots, I'm told, have females' names, and they are science. Science is not allowed in Islam. They're all marvels of science and all. So it is science and it's all female names. So all these robots are females and they're putting them into. So it's a very interesting thing which has come up. Let's see how do things settle and all. Looks like Sinwar took idea because open your mind too seriously. Yeah, that is what you should do with these jihadis. So, there's a lot what Mother India has to learn. There's a lot what we have to learn, right? We will also get to 72 pager. Yeah. So we have, and brother, thought provocateur, I don't know, brother or sister, whatever. We have a lot of gizmos with us, right? You remember what did Israel say that day? Arey, ye to kuch bhi nahi hai. We have a lot of things on our table. Now, amazing. Let's see who is the next target. Now, there are some more developments which I have to read. Always read people in India. Greetings from Tel Aviv. Hi, Jenny. Greetings from India. And we love you guys. And we're loving the way you are handling these jihadis. And this is the way to handle these terrorists. By the way, so this is the how Sinwar was killed and all. Now, I have a couple of more things to talk because I look at the clock and, I want these shows to be for 2 hours, but they can't be. That's the problem. Now, one more interesting development is that Middle East, the problems have started escalating. How? Israel is saying, we will not let it go till the time war is settled. Now, the bombarding of Lebanon is continuing. I think last night, some 33 people got killed or something. And the things are continuing. Exactly my assessment on PGurus. Israel will hit Lebanon and whose nerve will be hit? Will be Khamenei, will be itching and in the pain and in the agony. And that is exactly what happened. Now, what validates my theory? You will ask me. And you should ask me. My theory is validated by the foreign minister of Iran, who was in a joint conference with the foreign minister of Turkey, Erdogan's right-hand man. And they said, Israel's aggression on Lebanon will call for Iran's interference to salvage the situation. So Turkey is justifying that to protect the Hezbollah in Lebanon against Israel, Iran has to intervene. Basically, Israel is doing the right thing. They exactly know where to pitch the old mullah so that he starts twisting and shaking. So they twist him. They touch his twisting now. So he is trying to say this. So if Iran has to, when this statement comes, what does the Prime Minister of Lebanon say, the acting Prime Minister? He said, look, you are not our guardian angel, man. It's none of your business. We know how to manage our country. It is not your business. We do not want your patronage in a way to protect Hezbollah. Basically, they have no interest in Lebanon. What they mean by Lebanon is we want to protect Hezbollah. And what is the big plan of Iran? Big plan of Iran is I want to keep my country safe. So who dies? Who gets killed? Hezbollah. Where does it get killed? Lebanon. Who gets killed? Islamic Jihad. Where does it get killed? Gaza. Who gets killed? Islamic resistance. Where do they get killed? West Bank. So I want to keep you all guys busy You get killed or kill Israelis, we don't care. Our country should be safe. We hold the remote control and we count the dead. And when your dead bodies are there, we raise our flag of jihad and say, look, we are in the business of jihad. It is a classical model of how jihad is outsourced by Iran in a fantastic way. And here I want to bring up one point, is that people will talk, what are the peacekeepers doing there? There is a UN peacekeeping mission, which even has Indians. I would again request sincerely government of India to pull our troops from Lebanon, because as per that mission, there were two things which are supposed to happen. One is to maintain a buffer zone, and second is also to make sure that there are no arms buildup in the region. Well, unfortunately, arms buildup is in the region. There is no way UN peacekeepers could have controlled it, and there are tons of Hezbollah ammunition dumps there. Even since yesterday and all, 36 rockets were fired into Israel from this corner, that corner, whichever corner. The point I'm trying to make is, when peacekeepers are not able to do what they are supposed to do, what is the point of having peacekeepers there? They are not sting ducks. And push comes to shove, they might one day get them involved into the conflict to bring bad name to Israel. So there is a possibility that Hezbollah is planning that next. So it is in the interest of all the nations to pull off their peacekeepers from Lebanon. I think in 25 somewhere, the whole agreement is ending. Now, Iran also wanted Lebanon to push for a resolution. The resolution is there will be a buffer zone, which will be controlled by them. Basically, buffer zone means it will be a safe haven for Hezbollah, which again the Lebanese have kind of said no. Now, what is happening in Lebanon? Now, Lebanon, there are still some Christian-based parties which are left. There are still some Sunnis which are left. Now, these Christian-based parties, supported by Americans and supported by Sunnis, they are trying to make an alternate dispensation wherein this dominance of Hezbollah is ending. Now, with the elimination of Hezbollah and Hamas leaders, what is happening? The good thing is happening. Their cadre is kind of going back to the public. The cadre is deserting them. The cadre is kind of getting back into the public. But I had to remind them of the Khalid Mashal, who's still live and kicking in Egypt. So Mossad, if you're watching this, you know what to do. I know that he will be on your radar. It's just a friendly reminder. So now what's problem here is that when the cadre is deserting you, you don't know what to do. And now you want to give them a brush of fresh air. How do you give it? You want to have this buffer zone. Buffer zone will be again a forest, a desert, which will be Hezbollah sanctuary. Only Hezbollah will be there. So they will get more stronger, they will get more resilient there. So Israel is rejecting any of such proposals. There was also a news of a US embargo on Israel and all. But the reality of that news is that the American ammunition is running low. So they have tried to, say, okay, go a little bit slow on this. American deployments are high in the region. One more development has come from Tehran. There is this Saudi broadcaster MBC, not MBS, MBC. MBC yesterday said that these were terrorists who were killed. He discovered Sinwar as a terrorist, which he was. Now what happened is their office got ransacked. A few hundred people came in, destroyed the studio, ransacked their office, and brought down everything they had. So this channel, their broadcasting and all is stopped because they said, how can you call Sinwar or how can you call people of Hezbollah terrorists? They are mujahids. So even the Saudi's assets or the Saudi properties in Tehran are now kind of targeted. Even if they are news channels, they are commercial establishments, they are private establishments, they have nothing to do with the government of Iran, government of Saudi Arabia, but still they are targeted. So that is one aspect that's happening. Now Turkey and Iran is trying to get this thing when we should intervene. Meanwhile, one more development is there. Houthis have been active again. Houthis have attacked a ship, which I believe was a ship going to Oman. Now the ship was going to Oman and they have attacked it with drones again. So Houthis are back in business. They have still some drones left. And let's not forget the number of ships attacked by Houthis, as per the latest numbers released, has gone to 100. 2 of the ships have sunk. 6 of the soldiers have lost their life. And 1 of the ship is still in their captivity. So after the US bombardment, some of their back is broken. But I think Americans, you need to do more. General Lloyd Austin sent a few more B-2s, sent a couple of B-2s tonight, and bomb all the ports of Yemen. And by the time you don't bomb all the ports of Yemen, you cannot control these Houthis. And wherever you are, you bomb them mercilessly.
See,
You
the,
just
the
have
infiltration is just mind-boggling. They have infiltrated into UNRWA. Forget about this. UNRWA is completely infiltrated. So there is no good port or a bad port when you talk
no
about
good news on a hard port.
Yemen, right?
That's why
It's-
That's why it says bomb every port of Yemen, because by the time you don't bomb the port of Yemen, Yemen will be a transit point, and this will be a dangerous transit point. American lives, American interests, and Israeli lives will be at stake by that time the Yemen's all ports are not seized. This is my piece of advice. After I have done all the assessment, you have to destroy all the ports of Yemen. So, they don't anyway need more imports and exports. What will they do with that? So Houthis are back in business. Houthi spokesperson was today bragging, "Oh, we are attacked again. We are not deterred by American attacks and all." But the reality is, the major ammunition dump of Houthis, the 5 of them are eliminated. They are no longer there. So 5 major ammunition dumps are eliminated. Iran is still playing a very cautious game. Iran is trying to use all its proxies. Now, in the meanwhile, something new has opened up. Now, a front looks to be opening up from Jordan. Too early to contemplate on that. I was reading today that there are 2 terrorists who tried to infiltrate from Jordan and tried to kill Israelis. Now, what happened is both of them got killed by the IDF as they tried to infiltrate. Now, there is one, you will all know them. I don't know what to call them. They call themselves Muslim Brotherhood. The Muslim Brotherhood, you know what Muslim Brotherhood is. Muslim Brotherhood is again funded up to here by Qataris, up to here. The Muslim Brotherhood has taken the responsibility for that attack, which happened through Jordan on Israeli soil. And there was also one more attack wherein there was an Israeli truck standing somewhere. They got a speeding car and tried to ramp into the truck. The truck fell into a gorge, but there was no Israeli soldiers on it. So now this urban warfare has started, wherein these, what I call them, guerrilla-like attacks are happening. Now, there was one, 2 days back, there was one more terrorist attack in Israel. I think 1 or 2 civilians lost their lives. The terrorists were neutralized. So if I add up, this is the 3rd attack or 4th major terrorist attack which has happened in Israel in last 1 month. And let us not forget, every day there are incidents in Israel wherein somebody will come, where a couple of kids will come and will try to stab an Israeli soldier. And they fire back and they get killed, and they say, "Oh, 3 children were killed." But nobody will tell you. Al-Jazeera will definitely not tell how were they killed. But anyway, that is how the war happens. So the war is escalating. Things are getting involved. The groups are getting divided. And Benjamin Netanyahu's house being targeted. Is the target you are targeting the Prime Minister of Israel? And Israel will not look down upon you with any mercy. Khamenei has been declared as a legitimate target. So Saudis are worried, and Kuwait is worried, UAE is worried, everybody is worried. And after the attack on this NBC broadcasting in Tehran, everybody doesn't know what to do. In the meanwhile, one more development which I want to report is that King of Jordan has still not spoken where his affinity is. He's keeping his cards close to his chest. He's a very nice gentleman, King of Jordan, but when, like his father, when Mossad agents were caught trying to kill 𝗠𝗏 𝗢𝘂𝘁, he had to execute them publicly because there was a lot of public pressure. So if the public pressure existed at the time of the father, the public pressure will also exist in the time of son. Now, this explains me what I told you last time. What was Shin Bet's chief meeting Abbas Kamel in Egypt? I think there were only 2 things on the agenda. One is, look, buddy, we want this 𝗠𝗏 𝗢𝘂𝘁𝘁. Otherwise, we have to do operation here. Secondly, there would be also Muslim Brotherhood angle which can be activated from Egypt. So Egypt and Jordan were the 2 fronts which were not still active, right? So we're talking about all the fronts active minus these 2. So now, I don't know what to say. Jordanian front is active. Let's hope and pray that there is no activation from the Egyptian front. If it happens, there'll be another catastrophe to mental with. Israel is in a tough time. All the friends of Israel should stand by them and do their best to help him. And let me remind you, Israel is fighting terrorists and jihadis, not Muslims and Islam. That has to be a very clear-cut definition, and you have to all know that these all people are terrorists. They're all jihadis, and even in even if you look at otherwise, it's not a war versus Islam and all. But at the end of the day, even there's a limit to Islamic hegemony. There's a limit to people like Khomeiни's thought process, wherein they think somebody just needs to be killed because he's a Jew. Well, that doesn't cut ice in the world any longer, I think. And if you see carefully, most of the superpowers are not intervening in this war. Luckily, India is not doing anything, which India is the best way to do. Let the Americans and let the Israelis settle this war. And this is not settled till the time the mastermind and the person who allocated $500 million, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, Mr. Defense Minister, head of Mossad, head of Shin Bet, Khamenei allocated $500 million for this massacre, which happened on 7th October 2023. It is not done till the time it is done. And let me remind you before I hand it over to Sree Iyer ji, if you have to make sure Iran does not get any bomb, anything which can do mass executions, you have to take out Pakistan's nuclear facilities. As long as Pakistan exists with some kind of nuclear capability, there's always a risk that it will travel to Iran, and from Iran, it can travel to you. No Pakistan, no trouble. It's as simple as that. Sir, you want to move on?
Thank you so much. And viewers, I have seen on social media at least one instance of two boys, 13, 14, 15 years old, both carrying knives and trying to knife Israeli soldiers who were sitting in a tent. They got shot, but see, they didn't kill them. They shot them in their legs so that they cannot, lunge forward and kill you. The problem, I think, is that, first of all, they are trying to still save lives. The bigger problem is these people are going to incite people in countries like India to carry it out on the majority in India or the minority in Bangladesh or the minority in Pakistan. This is where the danger is. This is all like, signaling that you should do something like this. So somewhere this religion is confused. That is 100% sure. Religion is confused. The people don't know what to say. There is a feeling that, look, the ground is slipping from underneath our feet. We have to do something. But this do something lashing out can have very serious consequences. We are seeing in 𝗣𝗽𝗫, over 20 houses have been demolished. There are a couple of Hindu houses also in that. It is essentially an area where they found out what the cause of the problem was during their funeral procession. And that has been acted upon. I think now things will settle down, but it will be always coming up the same way. There was also another bulldozer action in Madhya Pradesh. I don't have all the details. When we come back to Shekhar Iyer's presentation at 10 o'clock, we will have some of these details. So do look out for that. Sumit, thank you so much. There's a lot happening today, and the upcoming BRICS meeting. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow, about what happened in the unit. Because a lot of people are asking, explain to us in Hindi what I had in the morning. I had released one monologue.
We'll do it in the morning then. Tomorrow morning, then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, it's about 29 minutes long, because I had to explain why people are getting nervous about US. And I'll just give you a hint. US debt is rising at the rate of $1 lakh per second.
Correct. Bingo. You're right.
So this is the big concern. Big concern. Yep. So we'll explain this in a little bit more detail in Hindi tomorrow if possible. And we'll see, because something else could happen in China, in which case we have to look at that.
We don't know. China or Israel, something can happen overnight. If the world is as stable as it is right now, this will be talking in the morning. But depends. Yes. We don't control what has happened. But again, the last point I want to make is that, look, the conflict in Middle East is going to escalate. Whichever way it goes, it will escalate, and there will be a cost to it. And again, I'm reiterating and stretching my neck out. The time of strategic autonomy is ending. World is getting divided into camps. Why? There was a strike. There was a military exercise between Iran and Oman today, and Russians, which again Iran called off due to some other reasons. There was one exercise in which India was an observer. This happened, but this exercise in the Indian Ocean was today called off because Iran smells something big is going to happen. So what I tell you in the end, my friends, you can do any exercise, you can have any alliances, but what protects you is your clear inclination, alignment, and your ammunition. Your army and ammunition are something which are not and should never be compromised. Cut on everything else. Cut on the air, cut on the water, but never cut on army and ammunition. This is the lesson what we learn. Russia has all the ammunition, but no army, right? So we have a lessons to learn, and this conflict is teaching us new lessons. And sir, I have to make one last sentence in the end. If you look at around us, friends, with an open heart and mind, forget all your inhibitions, forget your caste, forget your religion for a second, forget all the paradigms of life which you fight every day. we are no different than Israel geopolitically, what is surrounding us. And we have the most vehement adversaries which share a border with us. Iran is 1800 miles away from Israel. On both the sides, we have adversaries which share border with us. But India is much bigger and much stronger than Israel. But when the occasion comes, everybody is on its own. Namaskar.
Thank you so much. And now let's take a few questions.
Sure, sir.
Jaipuri Shankaracharya wants to know, once it is clearly said that they will kill Khamenei, don't you think that at least secure a place in Jannat, he will nuke Israel? Khamenei doesn't care of his own people. What is Israel waiting for?
Israel doesn't, to best of my knowledge, sir, he only has one tactical or two tactical warheads, which he can detonate and which will be most probably intercepted. But what comes back is the country will be out of. So if he's willing to take the gamble, well, be my guest. What can I say?
Next one, please. 𝗤𝙗𝗍𝘍𝘐 wants to know, it's the news that rockets and drones are fired from Lebanon to Netanyahu house and other places. Whether siren systems were failed, where is Netanyahu?
Netanyahu is loud, safe. The drones were, this was a drone, maybe coupled with a couple of rockets like what did last time. And again, I told you there were three. There were rockets, there was this Mohajir drones, and there was this Mirsad 1 or Mirsad 2, which of the two? I think the combination is exactly the same. I find the attack very identical to what happened on the army camp. Benjamin Netanyahu is very safe after the incident or the accident. He had released a video and said Israel is committed. We are not deterred by anything. We'll beat the shit out of them. So sirens only failed because it could not detect. Other two places the sirens were on. Sirens were on because radar detected the Iron Dome or whichever intercepted. Sirens were on. Here, what I'm only baffled, what is my personal worry, sirens were not off. If the sirens were on and it felt around a kilometer away from Mr. Netanyahu's residence, it was not a problem. It's open area; it can find it can kind of crash anywhere. But as per the result, there was a very loud sound. So that means, remember the Mirsad 1 drone, sir, it can carry 40 kilos of explosives. Looks something like that to me. That's my personal assessment.
Next one, please. Venkat Ranga wants to know, isn't Iran trying to escalate by targeting BiBi's home? Surely there will be a severe response.
What else will they do? These chickens are getting chopped by their necks, and they're running like headless chickens. What are they going to do? So Khamenei has to be seen doing something. Now, I think Israel has the best policy: hurt where it hurts the most. That's why, along with Turkey, he was today trying to threaten the people and trying to say, "Oh, if the things in Lebanon increase, Iran has to retaliate." How long can Iran keep away from this war? It has to come in. And let me tell you, there's a very clear-cut, decision with the American establishment. Look, they know Putin will not leave the land. If Putin has to leave the land, he will go nuke, right? So what they have to wait, they have to either wait for a God's intervention or a change of mind or something else happens, wherein they say, okay, you hold the land and hasta la vista, we save our face and go. So I think something like that is also happening. If this war gets up, America will have a reason to cut that deal with Putin. So even Americans want this war to go up so that they can cut a deal with Putin and say, okay, keep the area of Ukraine. Why? Because Jack Sullivan, I told you on PGurus around 20 days back, said there is a possibility Ukraine has to negotiate peace on the cost of the land.
Right. City of Joy wants to know, Namaste 𝗤𝗍𝘍, is our country learning from the Gaza conflict and implementing changes? Very scary.
I don't know, sir. I don't see any major changes happening on the ground, but I have been requesting with my folded hands 3 things. Separate Ministry of Internal Security. Second thing, I'm requesting at least 30, 40, $50 billion allocate to military, do the utmost purchases. Third thing, buy weapons from anybody, American, Russians, not Chinese, American, Russians, Europeans, anybody who can give you the weapons, buy that and increase our IPR. Increase our defense production capability. And if you have to master the game, the wars today and technology is a very important player in the war. We have to learn to master the technology. So we have to really revamp this. And let me tell you another thing. Is Israel bothered about international opinion? No, they don't give a shit to it. So why a big country or a B4 country like India is bothered about international opinion? And last thing I want to say, stop splurging money on our useless neighbors, which will only use your money. When they are done with the money, they will again start spilling venom. And when you give them some more money, they will keep their mouth shut for something. कहते हैं हिंदी में कुत्ते के मुंह में हड्डी डालना. You know, as long as you keep the mouth stuffed with the bones, they are good. After the bones are old, they will start crying again. Now, they will always go and get screwed by China. They will come crying to us. Look, the banks in Bangladesh are failing already. Done. Gone.
Next one, please. RK wants to know, is there a possibility of American playing a dual role, location of Benjamin Netanyahu?
No, Americans won't do that. Americans have a lot of stakes in Israel. Israel is their best chokidar or the gatekeeper. Americans know the jihadis need to keep their organizations intact. And if there is no Israel, where will they focus? They'll focus on Europe and America. And even in Bharat, don't be surprised.
Next one, please.
These organizations need targets.
Right. Ravi Shankar SB wants to know, entire Israel is united, including political opponents, unlike India. Internal enemies like India alliance is more dangerous than external enemies.
Get the whip cracking, sir. You are the government. You have $700 billion of foreign exchange reserves. You have an army. You have everything under you. Stop thinking too much about international community. Stop thinking about too much about Muslim countries. Stop to secularize your foreign policy and forget strategic autonomy. You can leave it for another 3-4 quarters, but bad luck.
Next one, please. Pradeep Tumati wants to know, why should robots be in human form?
Because these robots are exactly designed to replace a combat soldier in a very high casualty zone. They were more made for a purpose by the Israeli army. They even know that there's a martial art called, it starts with M, something, I can't remember the full name. It starts with them. If somebody knows the name, you can write me. So they even are good at that. They can fire, they can aim, they can do a lot of things. They were designed for this thing. Israel knew one day we have to enter those streets, those LAs, those 𝗒𝙀𝗫𝗍𝙪 and nukkats of Gaza. So we can't send our men there, which will get obviously killed. So they designed these machines for that.
But by the way, I have to tell something because it's not connected, but it is connected. Initial models of Tesla, I have one initial model Tesla, 2014, 10-year-old. Sumiji, the entire sensor technology in that was actually from Israel. And that car, man, it is so powerful. It's 10 years old and it is better than the subsequent cars that I have bought. I mean, Tesla also is doing some cost conversion, making it lighter, blah, blah, blah. The first car has Israel technology. Superb. 10 years, they are still doing software updates. So you can imagine how much hardware was built when the car was released. We are still getting software updates. Very.
Hope these Tesla guys are not importing sensors from China. Don't do it yet. People don't do it.
Ramana Chennubotla, thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoy your show. Thank you. Next one. Kabir Malkani wants to know, how deep will Gulf Cooperation Council get involved or dragged into the war?
It's a hub and spoke model. They are all linked. If they don't get dragged into war, Khamenei will pull everybody into war. He's a crazy man. He has already sold.
They will all be praying. Please Israel, take Khamenei out. Take Khamenei out.
Not Khamenei. They will be happy. Bhai le lo, aaj le lo. They will say, please do it now, Benjamin. Do it now. They will be happy with this. And you know why? Because Khamenei said, if I'm not able to sell the oil, I'll not anybody sell the oil. And last time they got through Houthis, they attacked this Aramco's oil fields. Right? They can do it. They are crazy people. They can do it. Hum marenge sabko leke doobe ke. And that's the mentality they have.
Next one, please. Thank you, Nirav. अगर इंडिया पाकिस्तान वार चालू हुआ तो कौन साथ और अगेंस्ट होगा?
ये अच्छा सवाल है. देखो 120 करोड़ तो साथ होंगे, बाकी देखते हैं.
अरे कुछ नहीं नीरव जी, बहुत आसान है. If India just takes over POK, then वहां तार काटना बहुत easy है उन लोगों को. Cut the wires. If they cut off the wire, the entire country of Pakistan goes dark. 70% of the power is coming from there. You cut
And
that.
water.
Done.
Water.
Done. Water too.
Fine.
Yeah, water too.
And I think you have to also rise to the occasion. Honestly, these forums like SEO and all, they're good to have. They're ornamental value. And doing a SEO in Pakistan with China and Iran, oh my God, Dr. Jaishankar is doing a hell of a job. I mean, if you ask me to go there, I don't want to go there. You're staying in Pakistan, Iran and China. You're trying to do something with them. I mean, hats off to the man. I mean, it's not even easy to pretend to be nice.
Next one, please. Thank you, Nirav, again. Watermelon my favorite, पर अब खाने का मन नहीं कर रहा है. What is the thing about watermelon?
It is the analogy. There were a lot of memes on the social media that a bullet hits a watermelon and gets blasted open like this.
Oh, I see.
Left to the Sinwar's head. Nirav ji, khao acha hai. Don't worry. You'll get over it in a day or two.
Akshay Nair, thank you so much. And 𝗤𝗲𝗍𝗆 Ramakrishna, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. And with that, we are coming to a close of this program. Come back in 1 hour's time to listen to 𝗤𝚻 𝗖𝘅 as we talk about India's politics. And also tomorrow at 10 o'clock, it will be more of a conversation style with Sumit ji. We have a deck which will explain to you what was the intent of the next meeting, because there are some updates. Sumit ji has all the updates also after that. Certainly this one has really shook up. Today morning 6 o'clock that thing came out. There were 3 or 4 videos that were doing the rounds, Sumit ji, all about unit. And I think Janta thoda hil gaya. People have really got shaken up. Hil gaya. So just listen to it. It is important. आप लोगों को सबको समझना है ये क्या है, इसकी क्या, I mean, how important that could be. So just do listen and join at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Thank you so much, sir. Namaskar.
Namaskaram, sir. Thank you to you and all the viewers. And I hope all our friends, at wherever they are in the world, they're going to Gaza, Pani, Gaya, Gaza. So I'm very sure they are going to like, share, and subscribe this and forward it on their social media, their WhatsApp, their LinkedIn, wherever, because this is a lot of information put in a capsule and most up to date up to 9 o'clock India time, today's date. On that note, Bharat Mata ki Jai, Vande Mataram, and Har Har Mahadev.